And then we're looking at adding and subtracting fractions. So how do we go about it? Well, when the tops are same, the numerators, when the denominators are the same, I should say, my apologies. For instance, if we have 2 8s and 3 8s, it's fairly easy to do the addition or subtraction, because all we've got to do is add the tops together and keep the bottom the same. And one of the pre-GCSE maths videos shows you how to do fractions when the denominators, the bottom numbers, are the same. So this one is going to look at, well, what do we do when the denominators aren't the same? So by here, for instance, we've got 5 ninths and 7 elevenths. How do we add them together? Well, the answer is to make the denominators the same. And we have seen this in the comparing fractions video, but we're going to look through it again in terms of adding and subtracting. So we need to make the denominator the same with the 5 ninths and the 7 elevenths. So what we're going to do is multiply the top and the bottom of the first fraction by the bottom of the second. So in this case, we're multiplying the 5 and the 9 of the first fraction by the 11, the denominator of the second. And then we're going to multiply the second fraction's top and bottom by the denominator, the bottom of the first one. So in this case, it's going to be the 7 and the 11 multiplied by the 9, because 9 is the bottom of the first fraction. And when we get this, our answer is 55 over 99 plus 63 over 99. So now, because of us multiplying in that way, it's made the denominators the same, and it simply turns into a calculation that we did in pre-GCSE maths. So all we've got to do is add the tops together, keeping the bottom the same. Now in this case, we've got a top-heavy fraction. So remember what we did in changing mixed fractions into top-heavy fractions. When simplifying fractions, it should be in a mixed form. So this shows you an example of why it's important to know it to turn it from one form to another, because now with this improper top-heavy fraction, where the top number is bigger than the bottom number, we need to turn it into a mixed fraction. So our first job is to look to see how many times 99 goes into 118. And that's easy enough because it only goes into it once. So we look at that and say, right, 118 divided by 99 is 1 with a remainder of 19. So we put the 1 as the whole number, the 19 as the numerator, and then the denominator stays the same with this 99. So we've got our answer, 1 and 19 over 99ths. So let's have a look at a similar thing. In this case, we're looking at a mixed fractions. What happens when we're deducting one mixed fraction from another mixed fraction? And of course, this can come up as well with addition as well. But the answer is to turn that mixed fraction into a top-heavy fraction. Now, we won't want our final answer to be top-heavy, but while we're working with it, it'll be easier to use a top-heavy fraction. So if you can't remember how to do the mixed fractions, have a look at a couple of videos back, but remember that we multiply the whole number by the number underneath and then add on the top. So in this case, the whole number was 5 with the first fraction. We multiply by the number underneath, 4, and add the numerator, the top number, on. So 5 times 4, add 3. And then with the other fraction, the whole number was 1. We multiply by the denominator, the number underneath, so 1 times 9. And then we add the numerator on, the 7. And that's going to give us 23 over 4. And 16 over 9. Now that's still no good in relation to adding and subtracting because the denominators aren't the same. So the next task is to make the denominators the same. And as we did with the addition example earlier, we multiply the top and the bottom of the first fraction by the bottom of the second fraction. And we multiply the top and the bottom of the second fraction by the bottom of the first fraction. So in this case, it's going to be 23 times 9 over 4 times 9. Take away 16 over times 4 over 9 times 4. And now, because we've done that, we've now got the denominators the same. So 207 over 36, take away 64 over 36 is going to give us 207, take away 64 over 36, because our answer, we just keep the denominator the same, giving us 143 over 36. Of course, we haven't finished yet, because we're still in the format of a top-heavy fraction, an improper fraction. So we need to change this into a mixed fraction. So we divide 143 by 36, and if you're not sure of your long division, have a look a few videos back, and it'll search for the long division video, and it'll explain how to do divisions like this. But the answer is 3 with a remainder of 35. So we put the 3 as the whole number, the 35, the remainder, as the numerator, the top, and the denominator stays the same, 36. So that's how to add and subtract fractions that haven't got the same denominator or are mixed.